So they're stuck not honoring what's actually going on. That's how we get stuck fucking having Confederate statues and all this other fuck shit in this country, and that's why we're still stuck back in that mindset. There's still some people who think that they won certain things, elections included, to this day. And it's like, because you haven't learned the lesson of the past, so you haven't been able to bring that forward to your present. So I think it's really important for us to honor the truth of our past, because what is the biggest predictor of the future? The past.
Alright, so you won the coin toss, so you'll answer the questions first.
Alright, let's do it.
And then I will
follow up.
Yes, but remember, don't explain. Just answer the either or.
Oh, I got this.
Okay.
All
right.
About it.
So the first question is, either we remember the natives' history and culture truthfully, or we honor their presence today.
I would say we honor their history truthfully.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I would say we honor their presence today. So why'd you choose? Because they're both good. Like this is definitely a both and question. Like, why can't we do both? We should be doing both.
Right. So the reason why I say honor their history is because within honoring their history, you will always honor them within the present. It's those who dishonor those in the past that don't allow for that appreciation to transfer to the present, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, so if, like, it's like a legacy. It's like if I leave a positive legacy behind, and that's honored, that's held up by my family, like the smart family. If I'm like, two T's, you know what I'm saying? But if I'm like the great grandfather that everybody's like, oh my God, he did so many great things. Like that Dave Chappelle joke they did, kind of like a monologue for real, they did on SNL. He was talking about his father started this church and how he set up his whole family to start to do this. Like because his great grandfather was an ex-slave and he did all these great things. It's like if you can honor that past, that history, it kind of like transfers over to your present. I think if you're able to ignore it and you're not able to do it truthfully, that's when it doesn't come to the present. That's why I feel like people are stuck in the past, because they haven't really truthfully learned the truth of the truth of what happened in the past. So they're stuck not honoring what's actually going on. That's how we get stuck fucking having Confederate statues and all this other fuck shit in this country, and that's why we're still stuck back in that mindset. There's still some people who think that they won certain things, elections included, to this day. And it's like, because you haven't learned the lesson of the past, so you haven't been able to bring that forward to your present. So I think it's really important for us to honor the truth of our past, because what is the biggest predictor of the future? The past. So if you're lying about it, you don't know what's coming. We lied about climate change. The fuck happened? We lie about racism in the country. The fuck happened? So it's like, you got to honor the truth of what the past was in order to bring that shit forward. And that's why I picked it.
Okay. So I chose honoring their presence today because growing up, I always was honoring their history and culture. I was trying to learn about who they were pre-contact. And
man, what the
exactly. And in honoring their presence today, I have to also acknowledge the fact that they've changed. They've had to. Like, they've been colonized. They've been murdered. Like, their ancestors, that knowledge has been gone as they've been removed from their lands. Like, they've changed. They've had to adapt. So while, yes, again, both and. Yes, we should honor and respect and remember their history and culture truthfully, but we also have to honor who they are today. And they're not the same because of what they went through. And I think it's important to honor their presence today because, yes, they still exist. Mm-hmm. They still exist today. Like,
right now.
And it was interesting because, like, on the East Coast, I didn't have, like, any way to connect with them. Like, I wanted to connect with actual people, not just learn about the stories and the history and the culture. Like, I wanted to actually connect with real live Indigenous people. And I wasn't able to until college. I went to a powwow in the Hampton Roads area, and I was actually able to meet some Indigenous people and buy from Indigenous vendors and stuff like that. And it was so liberating because it's like, even though a lot of them kind of look white, not all of them, but a lot of them did, and I was like, I understand what happened. Yeah. You know, yeah. But there's also the white people who claim anything. So you got to be careful with that. But it was like my first actual exposure to Indigenous people in the present day, right? Now, fast forward to me moving to the West Coast, I've had so many interactions with Indigenous people. Because mind you, the reservations are in the Midwest, so it's closer to the West Coast. Right? So my friend Reina, she's Indigenous Mexican, because remember, these lands on the West Coast were Mexico.
Yeah.
Like
Texas, California.
Exactly. So yeah, so she's Indigenous Mexican. And either her family's from a reservation. I don't know if she grew up on one. I can't remember. But yeah, like I actually have a friend now, you know, and I've worked with Indigenous people. Someone I worked with in San Diego, she was adopted off the reservation to a white family. So now I'm actually meeting people and I'm actually seeing people like, and it's interesting because they kind of look between a mix between Hispanic or Latinx and Asian. But like I've been able to see people on the street and be like, I think they're Indigenous. Like I've been able to see the differences in phonetics.
With the characteristics.
Yeah, so it's very interesting. But being in the Bay has opened me up to a whole new viewpoint of Indigenous people today. They constantly remind us at any event I go to, we are on a Ohlone land. Mm-hmm. This is their land that we're on. And in my research, I found out that like the whole Bay Area is Ohlone land, but that's like a summation of all the tribes. In specific to Oakland, it's the Chocheño. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing that, but that's specific to Oakland area, specifically Alameda County and Contra Costa County. But the whole Bay Area is Ohlone land. So like actually figuring out whose land you're on.
Yeah. That's
the biggest way of like acknowledging, you know? But also, just like being able to I've been to events where they're drumming and they're singing and they're sharing their stories. Like I think I went to the Women Empowerment Conference last year, and the panelists was Alicia Garza from the co-founder of Black Lives Matter, and then the other one was an Indigenous farmer. And like I learned so much. Like just to be able to hear from them today, you know? And it's just, we need more exposure. We need more exposure because people think they don't exist anymore. People think they were wiped out and they're gone. Or they're on a reservation somewhere, not interacting with modern day society.
That sounds like stuff.
Right. But like, those reservations were barren lands. Like they were not plentiful in resources.
Right, that was specifically why they gave them that land.
Exactly. They kicked them off the plentiful resource land.
Like, yeah, they knew.
Exactly. Clearly. And again, that's changed them. That's changed their health. That's changed their mental health, physical health and mental health.
Oh, that Trail of Tears shit.
Yeah.
Fuck. Man, that shit is brutal.
And then I watched stuff. So I was watching a video, and I think it was one of those Jubilees or cut ones where it's like, do all natives think the same or something? And they were asked the native people questions. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So one of them was saying that, you know, he's from Oklahoma, and somebody asked how, like, his family got to Oklahoma, and he was like, dude, Trail of Tears. Like, but yeah, people barely learn the history in school, barely learn the true history, and then they just don't think about their existence today. And mind you, we don't talk about it either. Of any of the people that we talk about, it's black versus white. Mm-hmm. And then it's, if anything outside of that, it's Latinx and Asian. Like, we're just now bringing natives to the conversation. And I'm so proud so many native people won elections in, I believe, state Congress. I don't know about the national federal one, but I know many won in their states. So yeah, they're getting, you know, more representation, like, present today. So yes, honor their culture and history truthfully, and honor their presence today. Yeah. All right, and with that, the next question.
Okay.
Do natives and Black Americans have more similarities or differences? Hey, it's the Real Family. It's your girl, Rocky.
And your boy, Elsa.
And thanks for being here. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell.
Right, because subscribing and hitting that notification bell does two very important things. One, it gives you notification on our new content and make sure that you're up to date on everything that we put out every week.
Every week.
You know, every week.
Every week.
And then number two, it helps your boy and your girl out with some money. You know what I'm saying? Let's just keep it honest.
It's so real, baby.
But in all seriousness, this is just like the video portion, the YouTube portion of our content. We are It's So Real podcast. So we have all these episodes just waiting for y'all on how many platforms?
11 different streaming platforms.
11.
So it's up to you to choose.
Yeah, there's no excuses. We on everything. So whatever platform you're most comfortable listening to stuff, your content on, we're right there for you. So look us up. It's So Real Podcast.
And our link tree is available on our YouTube channel. Go over there, find the platform that works best for you, subscribe to our podcast, and hear the full thing, because we have a lot more to say than what shows up on our YouTube channel.
Exactly. With that being said, check out the rest of our videos while you're here.
You know? And be sure to subscribe.
All right, y'all. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
And love.
Always.